How you doing, guys? I'm Sean.
Hi everybody, I'm Lynn. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day.
Absolutely fantastic day. Guys, listen, what we wanted to talk about today is about psychic attack. And just to give you a wee bit of a heads up, if you're not familiar with psychic attack, of how to observe it and how to know that if it's around you or if it's coming at you. Now, psychic attack is easy to recognise. Now, basically, we all know and we're all common with physical attack on the physical person. But in reality, you know, what you see in front of you is actually two physical extensions of a spiritual dimension. In other words, that this is not it. This is just a physical. So if somebody walked up and assaulted us physically, then that would be common assault. That would be a physical attack. But psychic attack is actually the attack of our spiritual being, our true beings. And as I say, it affects people in different ways. Let me tell you more about intentional and unintentional.
Unintentional and intentional psychic attack. Now, intentional psychic attack is if you or somebody else deliberately sends ill thoughts to a person or a place. Say you're thinking, oh, that Mrs. Bloggs, I don't like her, and you're sending bad thoughts to that person, then that person can pick it up. They might not be aware of it as such, but psychically that person will pick it up and you're sending that bad thought for them. Somebody can also do it to you as well. Somebody could send bad thoughts to you, and that's done intentionally. And that's quite easy to understand.
Yeah.
But the unintentional one is when, say like for example now, you leave the house in the morning, you're in a really good mood, you've got a spring in your step, you're on your way to work and the world is fantastic.
If you've got a good job, that is.
You have a good job, that's true. And you get on the bus and you sit next to somebody, could be the most loveliest person on the planet.
Could be a doom and gloomer.
Could be a doom and gloomer, yes. Now, say the first one is they don't speak to you at all, but they're not bad. This guy, you know, just don't acknowledge. And then you walk off the bus and you suddenly feel really drained. Now you think, why is that? I left the house in a really good mood this morning. What's happened, you see, is that person probably left the house in a bad mood, may have had an argument with their partner, or they could just be in a bad place in their head, and unintentionally their aura has been very down and they've sucked your upbeat aura into theirs. So they've probably got off the bus feeling fantastic, thinking, I don't know what it is, I feel much better now. Well, you're feeling drained. Now that's also, the other thing that also could happen, you could have sat next to that person on the bus and you could have said, oh, it's a great day, isn't it? The sun's shining today. And they could turn around and say, nah, we're raining a bit, and you're thinking, oh God, you know. And then you try and get the conversation a little bit more positive, and you say, oh, isn't it wonderful news? Is it wonderful news that we heard that baby that's been missing, they found her? Isn't it great news? And she's safe and sound. And they'll turn around and go, oh, but crime is on the increase, and all this and this.
Oh, the child will have trauma for the rest of their life.
And so you walk off the bus feeling drained. So that is quite, you know, they're doing it actually physically, and that's where they're talking to you and they're draining you, and also spiritually, where they're not even saying, they're just sucking your aura. Also, you could be walking about the road and you're walking in a busy city or a town or a supermarket and there's people walking past you all the time. Everybody's auras intermingles. Now, what happens, you're crossing loads of people, good and bad, happy people and sad people, and your aura is going to mix with theirs. And again, if their aura is depleted, it's going to suck the happy energy out of you. So what can you do about this? Well, there's a number of crystals that we're going to recommend in the next video, so stay tuned, that is going to help you with psychic protection. But what you can also do as well, and it's what we do every morning before we leave the house, is we visualise that we're standing inside a huge, big bubble. Now this bubble, I imagine, visualise it that it's actually made of rubber. I stretch my hands out and I go, and it's bouncy, and my hand cannot go through it, and nothing can come through it either. Now I visualise this bubble as a metallic gold, but I can see through it like a transparent metallic gold. So nothing can come through it, and anything negative bounces off it as well. And I do this, and I find when I'm out and about, it really helps, as well as carrying my crystals in my pocket also. So you could try this visualisation every morning about the bubble all around you, and it's fantastic. It really does help repel any negative energy coming towards you.
Definitely. As Lynn was saying, like, you know, because whenever somebody's sending you a negative thought, You know, you do feel it unless you're putting protection up. And when you're getting paranoid here, it's not that you have to always put it up. It's good to do it, to get in the routine, because sadly, you are going to encounter negative thought form. But let's not forget, if we put a negative thought form out to someone, if we have like a jealousy, or if we have make a sweeping statement about somebody's character or thing, it'll reach that person, but it also comes back. So remember, what you give out will come back to you. So that's something you have to keep in mind, because you can actually be feeling quite shit about yourself simply because you've been bad mouthing somebody else, or you've been in a negative place. Like the other day, we were out walking the dog.
Oh God, that was so funny.
And like we were walking across the fields, and this is how close this came to. Like we were walking across the fields, and it was actually, the sun was out, but the dew on the grass, and I had walking boots on me, and my feet were soaking. And I turned around and said to Lynn, look, who in the right mind is going to make walking boots without being waterproof? And this went on for about 10, 15 minutes. I'm sitting going, what do you say?
I said, Sean, I said, the sun is shining, the birds were tweeting away, all the trees were in blossom, and we was enjoying this wonderful nature all around us. And I said, Sean, I said, shut up about your boots, you're draining me. So
my feet were soaking. But Lynn couldn't get it, but she was right. And unintentionally, what I was doing, I was actually draining her energy by being so negative and think irrespective is right or wrong.
And it was unintentionally, obviously.
Unintentionally, because you wouldn't be doing it to somebody you love, but in the same breath, that's how easy it is to do it. So we have to, probably be more careful of our thought forms, be more careful that you walk in, we're not like a, fart in a spacesuit. You watch, you just don't walk into somewhere and actually dump your baggage.
It's easily done, and we all tend to do it, I have to say. And it's usually the people we love and who love us that actually do it. And it's easy to do. But you know what the worst person is for psychic attack?
Me?
No, not you. You're wonderful. It's yourself, because
that's true.
It's definitely yourself. I mean, how many people get up in the morning and they look in the mirror and they go, oh, look at my face, look at my eyes, look at my weight, my hair, what am I going to wear today? And it's a negative thought form from the minute they get up to the minute they go to bed. And what they're doing, them negative thoughts that they're sending to themselves throughout the day, is a form of psychic attack on themselves. So it's not just other people either, or other energies around. Yourself is the biggest, isn't it?
Yeah,
for being negative.
If you think about it, we're all, you included, we're all spiritual beings. We're occupying these physical realities. We're high vibrational beings. And we're occupying these physical things, so therefore we're actually coming down into like a lower plane, lower level, to operate in this physical extension. And what happens is we forget that we are completely pure happiness. It's only when we start watching the TV, reading the newspapers, getting involved in mind control of the media, you know what I mean, and the advertising companies, playing with your mind, that there is psychic attack.
That's a perfect example of psychic attack, actually. How many of you have got up in the mornings also feeling fantastic, had a great night's sleep? First thing you do is, right, I'll put the radio on, I'll put the TV on, and bang, negative news, blah, blah, blah. And then you leave the house feeling crap, do you know? Because that's another form of negative attack, isn't it? Psychic negative attack. That's why we've stopped watching television now.
Because for about 3 years. But basically you've got to be a wee bit aware of your environment you're in. If you're starting to feel like, if you wake up in the morning and you're actually bright and bushy tailed and you're sitting happy and you're looking out, and sometimes you're going a bit of a down, you start feeling a bit thing, don't panic. That's one thing you don't do. There's something that has happened, either you've heard something, read something, thought form has came into your mind that you may not subliminal, you may not have actually realised it was there. So what you do is you just say to yourself, hold on a second here, I was feeling fantastic a moment ago, something's happened to me at this moment in time. I don't want you to be sitting panicking, thinking that there's somebody out there who's using a Ouija board to send you the daggers and send you negative energy. Most times it's actually quite simple, and it is a lot of times to do with us, it's to do with how we're thinking about ourselves,
we're the
what
worst
we've been
ones
watching,
for doing
like
it,
that. So genuinely, we will touch on, we use crystals, as you know. We will do a video probably following on from this. We don't keep it too long, but we will do a follow-up video directly after this one here, and we will be talking about crystals that we use daily in our lives that help keep us grounded, but helps keep us protected against psychic
we recommend
attack.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Guys, listen, we'll probably wrap it up there, and I say, I hope we just touched on this here. We just want you to be a bit more aware of psychic attack. You know what I mean? We're all aware of the physical attack, as we've said. Psychic attack is something that's going to be happening to your spiritual being. That's your true being, by the way. This physical extension you see is nothing. It's just like a leaf in a tree. It really is nothing, and we're all unique individuals. but our spirits are all connected. We may not be related through blood in this physical plane, but rest assured in the spiritual plane we're all connected. So when you're putting a negative thought form out there, you're putting badness, evil, anger out there, it's going to come back to you. You're putting love, happiness, passion, love, everything out to the world. It'll come back to you again. Yeah. And when there's light, there's no darkness. And as I say, I tell you that if you're feeling a bit down, feeling a bit negative, rest assured there's something going on in your vicinity that's going to be affecting your life, you know. Not life as in life and death, affecting your life, your daily life.
So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned to our next one. We recommend the crystals, what we recommend for protection.
Definitely.
And sending you loads of love and happiness as always from Ireland.
Positive thought forms. No negativity coming at you from here.
Absolutely. Sending you all tons and tons of love and happiness.
Send you later, guys. Love and blessings, yeah.
And remember, think happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts is right.